Hey, you guys aren't tattletales, you're Furbies! Hey guys, it's MandaPanda and today I have a really awesome custom video for you. We are going to be transforming a Furby into a real life TattleTail toy. How awesome is that? I actually picked up this pair of Furbies from eBay. I think I paid maybe $6 for both of them. They're not full-size Furbies, they don't talk, they are actually McDonald's toys from the 90s, and I thought that they would be the perfect toy to transform into a tattletale. Now, originally I was going to customize the one with purple hair, but the one with pink hair is just so much cuter. It has cute ears, cuter eyes, and I love the fact that you can move the ears with the little button on the back of the Furby. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with the pink hair yet. I'll figure it out later. Starting off the transformation by shaping the Furby's original mouth very carefully. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife and I'm gonna trim off the front of the Furby's beak so I can take away a lot of that pointiness, so I can give TattleTail a rounder mouth and a rounder nose. When using an X-Acto knife, you must be super careful because it is very easy to cut yourself, and this Furby plastic is really hard, so definitely get a parent's help with that step. And next up, we're gonna create the smooth section of TattleTail's face and body. To make that, I'm gonna be using a Sugru, which I've used before. It is an air dry rubber that I just personally prefer over air dry clay. It doesn't shrink, it dries quickly, and it is very easy to use. But you could always use air dry clay, or even just skip this step completely and paint the face, and it'll just have a textured finish, but it'll still look a lot like a tattletale. I've kind of rolled out this Sugru into a long strip, and I am just very roughly kind of outlining the general shape of TattleTail's front. And then I'm gonna smooth out all of this Sugru and spread it out, thin it out, make it nice and even, cover up all of that texture from the original Furby. Now this is just one pack of Sugru. I might have to open up that second pack, add a couple more pieces to make sure I have enough to spread around. Also gonna add a little piece right in between the eyes there. You can see that it's really smooth, looks completely different than the rest of the body's texture, and I love that. Now I'm taking a silicone tool and I'm pressing back the Sugru that's around the eyelid, so that way we can see a lot more of the eyelid, because when I spread that Sugru out with my fingers, I did cover up the majority of it, so I'm just kind of uncovering it gently. That looks really awesome. Now just gonna use another clay tool here to cut around the eyes and remove all of that excess Sugru around the eye sockets. And I'm doing all of this work while the Sugru is still wet, so you gotta work kind of quickly so it doesn't get dry on you. Now I'm taking my X-Acto knife and I'm going to actually cut out the shape of TattleTail's front. So I'm just gonna start off from the top and then move to the sides, round out the eyes, a little cheek here, and then a big old belly. Then scrape off all of that extra Sugru. Since the Furby is textured, this might take you a little while because that Sugru was getting stuck in the fur. I'm gonna add little circles here for the cheeks, and then we'll go in and smooth those out in a second. Gonna put on the mouth again, just kind of rolled out a little snake form here. Gonna place that right at the bottom of the mouth. It's a little bit too big, let me trim that down real quick, and then add the Sugru for the nose. I'm gonna try and make the nose into the shape of like a lima bean or a regular bean. Let me get these two pieces on and then smooth everything out with my fingers just like I did earlier. I need to shape that nose a little bit better using a silicone tool here to kind of press out the center of TattleTail's nose, and then use my X-Acto knife to cut it down into that shape of kind of like I said earlier, a kidney bean on its side, and then put a little teeny tiny heart right at the tippy top of that nose there. How adorable is that? I'm gonna let all of this sugru completely dry overnight, let it harden, and then it's time to start painting. For the face, I mixed up a color using a flesh tone and a little bit of yellow to create that color for TattleTail. I'm gonna completely cover this face with 4, maybe even 5 coats of acrylic paint. Okay, so this is actually 2 coats of acrylic paint, and I realized I really hate the color. I think it's a little too bright, so I've actually mixed up a second color. This is khaki mixed with a little bit of white. You can really tell the difference here. That's the new one down at the bottom, and I think that this is actually a better match for TattleTail. So I'm gonna cover this with 3 coats of the new shade. Sometimes when you're customizing and you're making new things, you think something's gonna work, or you think something looks good, and then kind of as you get working, you're like, hey, that's not what I was going for. And that's exactly what happened to me today, but that's okay. Gonna go in with a little bit of black and fill the inside of the mouth, a little bit of red for TattleTail's cute little heart nose, and then periwinkle, which is a blue purple color, for the eyelids. And then I'm gonna go in with a little bit of black and outline the very edge of the eyelids. And you'll notice that I did get quite a bit of paint on TattleTail's eyes, but that's not a big deal. You can just use a little bit of water and a paintbrush to take it off, or you can use a Q-tip or even scratch it off with like your fingernail. That's all of the painting for the face. You have 2 options. You can completely seal everything with a varnish, but I actually want to use a clear nail polish because I want the front of the face to be very, very shiny, because I want it to have the look of plastic. So that's what I'm going to cover it with. Let that top coat completely dry, and then finish off the rest of the customization. I'm going to be cutting off the pink fur at the top of the head. So sorry about this haircut, Mr. Furby, but the pink hair has got to go. And that hair came out surprisingly easily. I'll worry about what I'm gonna do with the hair later on. Going in with some bright purple acrylic paint, I'm gonna completely cover the body with 4 coats of paint. I'm not gonna worry about painting that ball right in the middle of the Furby, because that's the part you're gonna be touching a lot, because you need to move it side to side and up and down to move the Furby's ears. I'm also going to carefully outline the ears with purple, and I'm gonna keep that original pink because TattleTail does have pink inside of the ears. Now it's time for the eyes. I'm going in with a true blue acrylic paint here, and I'm just going to cover up the original eye with 2 coats of paint, let it completely dry, and then I'm actually gonna go in with that same shade of blue, but I've lightened it up with a little bit of white, and I'm going to fill in the eye completely except for a very thin ring around the edge. Going in with a very pale icy blue now, and I'm going to kind of create a gradient ombre eye. I'm drawing very, very small lines here, and then spreading out all of that paint with my paintbrush, feathering it out and making it into a smooth transition from color to color, and doing that same step with a little bit of white. So we've actually layered on 4 different colors, and those eyes look really cool. Putting in the pupil with some black acrylic paint, and then using a nail dotting tool for the light reflections. I'm gonna seal the eye eyes and the fur with 2 coats of the varnish that I showed you earlier. It's gonna give TattleTail 2 different finishes and it should look pretty cool. Let it all dry. Let's take a look at the completed custom. Here is a real life TattleTail toy and he is so cute. It looks a lot like the one from the PC game. The ears are a little bit too big, but I think it came out really awesome. So what I ended up doing for TattleTail's hair is that I cut off the purple hair from the other Furby that I bought and then just glued it to the top of this one. It was a super easy fix. I didn't have to dye anything and you can't even tell because this TattleTail looks super awesome. Next, I really want to make Mama TattleTail, but I can't decide if I want to make her when she's like regular or when she's like savage. So let me know which one you think I should make by leaving me a comment down below. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this tutorial and that it's easy for you to follow so you can make your own in real life. Thank you so much for watching, little pandas. Until next time, bye. You can follow me online to get the latest news and updates. Like my Facebook page, facebook.com/MandaPanda Toy Collector, or follow me on Instagram at MandaPanda Toy Collector. Want to mail me something? Guess what? You can. Mail it to MandaPanda P.O. Box 2855, Humble, Texas 77347.